right, folks, I'm fresh off my Tua Tagovailoa soapbox here from the break on the hottest show on the streets, number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, just had to get that off my chest there for a minute. Appreciate you guys tuning in and listening to the show on this evening. We're at 41 likes now, so continue to hit that like button, run those likes up, smash the like button, turn on those notifications, and hit that subscribe button as we continue to get you the best in Alabama football news, notes, information, and coverage here on the show. But before we get into the final topic of the conversation, got to remind you of TDAwear.com. That is TDAwear.com. So, for all of you fans still overjoyed with the Tide winning the national championship, check out our championship collection merch. You grab you 18 of them things, folk, t-shirt, hoodie, or sweatshirt, as well as our Got 18 We Do shirts. Designs which features all 18 championship years on the back of the shirts. Head over to TDAwear.com. Do it right now. TDAwear.com and go to the Championship Collections tab and get you that merch today, showing that support for Coach Saban, the University of Alabama, the student athletes, and us here at Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Cop you some of those shirts right now. But we dive into the offensive line for the Crimson Tide because this is another area going into spring practice next week that you as Tide fans are a little concerned about, wanting to make sure the offensive line is strong, on the up and up, good to go, ready to roll. And prior to last year, the 2012 offensive line was the gold standard for the Crimson Tide. That 2012 group that had the likes of Cyrus Kouandjio on there, Barrett Jones, DJ Fluker, Anthony Steen, Chance Warmack, that offensive line right there, those guys up front, that was the gold standard for the Crimson Tide. Everybody was measured up to that group. And the teacher of that gold standard was Jeff Stoutland. That was an offensive line that produced two 1,000-yard backs in Eddie Lacy and TJ Yeldon. That was an offensive line that produced a 30-touchdown season from A.J. McCarron. That was an offensive line that also helped one Amari Cooper as a freshman have a 1,000-yard year. That line, you had Kouandjio, you had Chance Warmack, you had Fluker and Barrett Jones. They were all All-Americans on that group. So for the longest of time, that 2012 offensive line was the gold standard until last season. The 2020 offensive line surpassed the 2012 group a season ago when you discuss the 2020 group blocked for a 4,000-yard passer and Mac Jones, 4,500 yards. 2012 didn't have that. The 2020 group blocked for a 1,400-yard rusher and Najee Harris, and a guy that caught 45 passes in Harris. It blocked for an 1,800-yard receiver in Devontae Smith, who won every award imaginable, including the Heisman Trophy. It blocked for 48.5 points per game, 11 40-plus point games in a 13-game span. That offensive line had two unanimous All-Americans in Landon Dickerson and Alex Leatherwood. So the 2020 group, coached by Kyle Flood, was the real deal. And the question is, can next year's group, starting off in the spring, defend that title as the Joe Moore Award-winning line? Can next year's group defend that title and keep the excellence going on that front group with Doug Marrone as the offensive line coach? Now, you're replacing three guys to the NFL. You're replacing Landon Dickerson, Deontay Cornbread Brown, and Alex Leatherwood. And this is not easy. This is going to be a hard thing. It's going to be hard to replace a Dickerson who was the personality of your offensive line. He was the heart and soul. He was the glue. He was the captain. He was the Iron Man, the Remington Trophy winner, the Jacobs Blocking Trophy winner. Like, Landon Dickerson's nothing to play with. Like, when Landon Dickerson became a center, he fused that offensive line together. So it's going to be hard to replace that guy. It's going to be hard to replace an athletic left tackle in Leatherwood, All-American, Outland Trophy winner, Jacobs Blocking Trophy winner. It's going to be hard to replace a guy like Deontay Brown, who, although people rave him for his run blocking ability, he did not give up a sack last year. Deontay Brown did not give up a sack in his entire career. And that's crazy because he's not known for his pass protection at 6'3", 6'4", 364 pounds, the mammoth of a man that Cornbread Brown is. He's not known for his pass protection, but he did not give up a sack in his entire career. So it's going to be difficult replacing these three guys. But the good thing for Bama football is, on the offensive line, it does return three guys with experience for this group starting off in the spring and discussing Chris Owens, Emil Ekiyor, and Evan Neal. Chris Owens back at that center position, Ekiyor back at right guard, Evan Neal back more than likely at left tackle. Now, me, honestly, I would take all of the experience and flip it over to the left side of the offensive line, and that being Neal at right tackle and Neal at left guard, left tackle, and Ekiyor at left guard. But I can understand why Nick Saban is doing what he's doing, because you want to have a balance. You don't want to have all of your experience to the left side and all of your inexperience to the right side, because that tells the defense, hey, attack the right side. They have less experience on that side of the ball. So I can see why Saban would want to have just Neal at left tackle, so whoever plays left guard, you at least have Neal there helping the left guard out, and having Ekiyor at right guard, whoever plays right tackle, it can have Ekiyor helping that particular person out. So I can see where Nick Saban is going with this, having the balance on both sides of the football. But you got three guys back, Chris Owens, of whom he's not like Dickerson was, but he's got experience playing center, playing left tackle, playing guard, playing tight end. He's got experience around the whole offensive line. So having him back is a big deal. Ekiyor got better down the stretch of last season, really started to be able to sink his teeth into being dominant there on the front line. We know what Evan Neal can do. We know what Evan Neal can bring there as he looks to protect the blind side of Alabama's quarterbacks. It's got three right-handed guys on scholarship in young Paul Tyson and Jalen Milroe. Now, what's going to be interesting here is the battle at left guard and right tackle. This is going to be interesting because right now, Tommy Brown and Kendall Randolph, they will get the first crack at it opening day next week, next Friday in spring ball. They'll get the first crack at it. Now, will they be able to fend off some of the other talented guys? That remains to be seen. Tommy Brown at 6'7", he's got the size to be a tackle, but the footwork, not quite there yet. So he needs to start off as a guard, work in that phone booth, get his feet wet there on the interior. Kendall Randolph as a tackle, he's got some ability to him, but can he fend off a Javion Cohan? Can he fend off a Damian George? Can he fend off a Tommy Brockermeyer? Can he fend off a J.C. Latham? Can he fend off a Terrence Ferguson and other guys that are going to be pushing for that right tackle spot? This is big competition. This is good competition. This is what Alabama needs in having the best five guys on the field to defend the crown of the Joe Moore Award, but also continue the dominance that's been laid down by the 2020 group in making sure that the offense flows through that front line. So next week, spring ball starting up. Excited to see what this offensive line can do as well. But as always, Tide Nation, you want the best in news, notes, information, and coverage here on your favorite program. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, Google Play, or iHeartRadio. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I'll be back on Monday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. As always, Tide fans, you can purchase individual copies of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Have those sent to your door. That link will be in the description. Also, if you're trying to cop that print edition, that print copy of the magazine that's coming soon, you go to touchdownalabama.com. That's touchdownalabama.com. You click join, you become a member, become a subscriber today to touchdownalabama.com to get the copy of the print magazine. That link in the description. You can also check out weownthefourthquarter.com. Copy that four-finger bling necklace, four-finger bling jewelry, weownthefourthquarter.com. That link in the description as well. But until next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands, children, weekend in the building. Do the right thing, the fun thing, but the legitimate thing to not be bored. Be sure to get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself, protect the loved ones around you. Enjoy Alabama men's basketball in the semifinal round versus Tennessee tomorrow in the SEC tournament. But until next time, folks, so long, everybody. It's been in my own words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.